They listen to music, you know. They call that boy Tyrone, he was never in the streets. He grew up around that shit. His niggas hold that heat, niggas ride around guns in the back seat. Street life was fun, Tyrone never holded a gun. His homies would sell drugs, he wanted to take someone's life, but one of his people get killed every night. Learned from his cousin Matthew, both the street vision. He wanted to do street life, that was Tyrone's decision. What's happening, y'all, man? Seereal is back with another real reaction video. So, man, you know, NBA Youngboy, bro, they be talking about NBA Youngboy. NBA Youngboy literally was going on about finesse, like they going back and forth. Now this man's in jail facing some big time. So we gonna get into it, man. Like, I know a lot of people like him, man. I started liking him. I didn't like him at first, man. Then when I listened to music, I'm like, yo, this kid got a lot to say than most cats. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna get into it, like, let's see what's going on, like with NBA Youngboy. You know, so we're gonna watch this video and see, man. Like, it's sad to see that, man. I hate to see another brother go to jail. So let's get into it.
But for a popular rapper is facing over 60 charges after he was arrested in Cache County.
NBA Youngboy was arrested.
He's 60 charges, my man. What do you? Hold on, we gotta see this. What do you do?
Home in what the Cache County Sheriff's Office is calling an ongoing investigation into criminal conduct.
We are learning new details about why young rapper NBA Youngboy was arrested in Utah yesterday.
The rapper, whose real name is Kentrell Deshaun Golden, was under house arrest as he awaited trial on federal gun charges. Several agencies, including the FBI and Secret Service, executed a search warrant yesterday morning.
September 19th. 2023.
Now this the dog 1090 Jake. A lot of us don't like him, man, but bro, he really saying real shit. I don't care if he's white, he literally speaking real shit. Like, y'all gotta stop getting on these white people shit where they like get white people get a platform and they speak on black people like they telling the truth. It sucks to see it's one of not our own speaking on us, but he ain't lying.
Received a prescription called in for a 70.
And everybody see like he clout cheap, well, culture vulture, they would say. Honestly, I ain't with all that. I feel like he in the scene. He grew up around us. Like any white boy that talks exactly like, kind of like us, they grew up around us. No offense, like they really. I only know some white boys that are like niggas like us because they grew up around us. Like literally, we not gonna be like let you to say that, but a nigga is not just a black person. A nigga is someone just that acts like a nigga. Could be whatever race, and some people are not understanding that.
White. The physician who called provided the proper identification, but the number he called from wasn't from his pharmacy. A phone call to the suspected pharmacy would confirm suspicions. The pharmacist didn't have a patient named Bethel White, he never called in a prescription, and apparently someone's made several orders using his name that day.
This man literally just getting pills from the pharmacy. That's how they be really doing it.
As well as promethazine with codeine, a Schedule 5 controlled substance and one of the most abused and
these motherfuckers be drinking it like it's lean. Like, what the fuck? Man, that shit crazy.
The antibiotic was most likely just to make the prescription less of a red flag. Law enforcement would wait in the parking lot of Reed's Pharmacy waiting for someone to pick up the order, but nobody came. That same day, Spence's Pharmacy in Logan, Utah, received a call from the same suspect using the same physician's information. This time, 71-year-old Gwendolyn Cox needed promethazine with codeine. 2 weeks after the prescription was called in, a female came and picked it up, stating Gwendolyn was her grandmother. The following month, Spence's Pharmacy received a second call requesting more lean for grandma.
Now that's crazy, man. You hear what they going? That is literally crazy.
Realized the 71-year-old didn't just drink a whole bottle of syrup in less than 3 weeks, so this time they requested a hard copy of the prescription with the patient. so the suspect on the phone hung up the call. Spencer's Pharmacy attempted to call the number back after looking up the physician's name, only to make contact with the real physician, finding out someone's been fraudulently using his credentials. On January 17, 2000.
So my boy, you frauding to get prescription drugs. Why do black people do this? We all, listen, when white people do this, they know they ain't gonna get caught because of what? The odd chance for us? Man, come on, man, I gotta tell y'all, like, let's keep it real. If I literally went and did that right now, they already know that they coming for me. I seen so many people fraud nowadays, and they black. They all suddenly, oh my god, like this is racist. Why they get, bro? You're black. In society, as hard as it is for us to get ahead, and now we doing all this. Like, come on, man. And us is struggling every day trying to get jobs and stuff, and you foolish. Let not even get into that.
Prescription was called into Larry's Pharmacy in Smithfield, Utah. It was the same deal. Another elderly woman wanted lean, and when things looked suspicious, the pharmacy called the police. An agent assigned to the cash-rich drug task force would conduct the initial investigation. Obvious similarities between the reports from the different pharmacies.
See, these niggas got all this money. And bro, I don't know why y'all fuck your life every time.
Contact would be made, and two females would arrive at Larry's Pharmacy to pick up the prescription. They'd be detained, and officers would smell a strong odor of marijuana coming from the Chevy Tahoe they drove in. With the females consenting to a search, marijuana flakes would be found around the interior, along with an empty handgun case for a .45 caliber 1911. They'd claim the marijuana wasn't theirs, and they were picking up a prescription for a friend that they refused to name. The two women would later be arrested for their role in the prescription fraud ring, and
Now listen, I always say this. When you're doing a crime, that one time you get away with it, cool. You repeatedly do something, man, people eventually gonna catch on. This is what their job is to do, bro. I don't even feel bad for this man. Like, I really don't. And people talk about free NBA young boy. No, keep him in there so you can learn a lesson. Learn your lesson, boy.
officers would discover the Chevy Tahoe they were riding in was registered out of Texas under a 24-year-old man named Kentrell Golden. Kentrell would be more commonly known as rap superstar NBA Youngboy. One of the task force agents would be contacted by dispatch and informed that none other than Gwendolyn Cox needed to speak with him. During the conversation, she'd state her last name was White instead of Cox, and she'd give her birth month and date, but couldn't provide the age and wouldn't provide her address. It was very clear to the agent that Gwendolyn was using a fake voice, as this old woman sounded like a much younger male from the South. She, or he, made a statement saying, "Well, I asked her to, and she said that she'll have you call me." The terminology ax instead of ask was a dead giveaway and consistent with a southern dialect from states like Texas, Georgia, and Louisiana. The following day, a person who self-identified as NBA Youngboy's business manager attempted to contact the drug task force in an effort to get the Chevy Tahoe out of the impound. During this time, the impound company suspected the vehicle may be stolen after speaking with the so-called manager, so the task force officer requested to speak directly with Youngboy. On a conference call being recorded by dispatch, Youngboy told the task force agent the females arrested at the pharmacy were family. The agent would ask about his relations to the female and if they had his permission to drive his vehicle, to which Youngboy said they did have his permission, and he asked for his vehicle back.
I ain't never let nobody use my vehicle ever after seeing this. No matter how big I get in this, whatever I'm doing this, also I do music, you ain't using my vehicle unless I know that you into none of this.
The agent would tell Youngboy how to get his vehicle back, and the conversation would continue when Youngboy said, "Ask him about, the prescription that they picked up. He paused for a few seconds before saying, "She on the fucking hospital bed. She on the hospital bed." The agent was aware Youngboy was speaking to someone else who claimed to be Youngboy's brother. The call would break up and go silent for durations of time, leading the agent to believe they were muting the call. Because Youngboy was speaking about prescriptions without being asked, showed he had knowledge of the fraudulent prescription the
I don't even know what to say. I really don't.
females attempted to pick up. It would also prove intent, as Youngboy attempted to further the prescription fraud by stating, "She's on a hospital bed," referring to the fake patient. Youngboy would also slip up, using the word ax instead of ask, the same way the fake patient Gwendolyn did on the phone. And at this point, it would appear obvious NBA Youngboy was pretending to be a 71-year-old woman. And in a
You can't be serious. You pretend to be a 70-year-old woman. Get your grandmother something to do with long get. Oh my Lord. I done seen it all. I've been in this world since I'm 31 now. I've been in this world 31 years. And these rappers do not surprise me no more. They doing the most. These fraud and these scam things, bro. Like I'm telling you, the fraud scam thing is cool at first. You think you get away with it? My boy, karma always gets you. Anything going off, you just kill life, boy.
to get lean. The drug task force would speak with the physician whose name was being fraudulently used.
But bro, I ain't got no respect for you. An 80-year-old woman? It's the girl, the woman already on her way out of this world, and you playing with her name. But that's what some of my folks do, my black folks do. Like, oh, let's just mess with white people. And then with the cause of it, when this happens, we all look like, oh, black people, this is all what we do. No, this is what niggas do, not us.
Was successfully picked up would be made. Ann White, Beatrice White, Caroline White, Gwendolyn White.
He in that stupid
Alice
video
White,
with that guy. He's slow as hell. Little dumb.
White, Francine Taylor, and Gwendolyn Cox were all fake elderly women whose names were used to pick up different amounts of codeine, sometimes repeatedly.
My boy, you didn't think they were gonna catch on to you? Like you didn't think that they were not watching you? We're watched all the time. My skin color all the time. Even if I'm not involved in that life, I'm watched. You're black, boy. Start getting through that your head. This is why some white people come out and like that, and they like, oh well, there's discrimination because we have problem with niggas like this trying to make us look like we're the prime example of that. We don't do this. I'm a regular black folk. I ain't a nigga. I do nigga shit, but I ain't no nigga.
For his own name,
You a nigga, bro. For real.
Be used with the birth year of
Anybody that scams people, gotta scam people before. But like, at the time I was being a nigga. You a nigga. Like, come on, I ain't go that far to scam an old white woman. Like, what the hell, bro? What you thinking? Like, you got kids looking up to you and stuff. They listen to your music and all that, man. Like, y'all can't be serious, man.
A 7-day supply of codeine. A juvenile would be apprehended at the pharmacy after attempting to pick it up. Additional calls were made using Youngboy's real name and real birth date by someone in Houston, Texas. It was discovered the same white Tahoe registered in Texas that the females were arrested in could be seen in one of Youngboy's.
So he used females to get this shit. Of course. Always because they don't suspect females. I just talked to my boy about that. But they're getting a little smarter now, so be careful.
Further investigation into Youngboy was conducted after he was identified as the primary suspect. Rising from the trenches of Baton Rouge, Youngboy is documented to have lived in Louisiana, Texas, Georgia, California, and Utah. He's also currently on federal pretrial probation as he awaits trial for a federal gun charge for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. The rap star's criminal history is not only extensive, but violent. Back in
We ain't gonna say nothing no
2016,
more, my
Youngboy
boy.
was arrested.
This is just disgusts me, man. Like, wow, it never changed. Another rapper gone to jail for doing something stupid. My boy, your music was getting really good too. Like, I would literally just listen to this one song. Like, I love the way your style is, but like, my boy, this is your life. I understand, but it like, you literally selling codeine for what? Like, what is it doing for you, bro? People want to do these drugs when they're young and all that stuff, and then they throw their life away, and then after you realize, like, this was stupid. My boy, it's all stupid. And when people tell you this is stupid, don't do it. I remember I was around some foolish stuff, and I had to get away from it. Like, I'm clean now. I don't do none of that. I don't even smoke weed. I quit. I've been not smoking weed for a month, and it's like, I'm just in my business mode doing my stuff, and I ain't really around that type of action no more, man. Like, come on now. We grew up at a time.
Charges of murder in Louisiana as a juvenile. The charges were eventually reduced, and Youngboy would be convicted of aggravated assault with a firearm, while his second charge of attempted murder was dropped entirely. This conviction alone would make him a convicted felon. In 2018, he'd be arrested for aggravated assault and kidnapping, with the kidnapping later being dismissed. Youngboy would plead guilty to a lesser charge of simple battery.
Kids, if you watching all this, you see all that rap shit, they holding all that shit, it's cool all when it lasts. But when they slap that damn RICO charge on you and told you doing this time, you gonna sing like a bird. They all do. You gonna tell.
Months of probation.
You gonna snitch on your homie. I don't care how hard you think. I don't care how hard y'all think you are. You gonna snitch on your homie. I guarantee you gonna snitch.
He'd be arrested in Louisiana for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, distribution of marijuana, possession of a controlled substance, illegally carrying a weapon, illegal possession of a stolen firearm, and possession of a controlled substance. In 2021, the feds would indict Youngboy for his Louisiana gun charge.
My boy, you got nothing but guns on you. You have a rough life and you still doing it? My boy, you crazy.
Be on pretrial release. Youngboy has been identified by the FBI as the leader of the NBA street gang. The gang itself is a group of Youngboy's associates that have been classified as a gang because of their structure, affiliation, and violent behavior. Youngboy's music is heavily influenced by that behavior, as he is consistently rapping about shooting and killing people, using drugs, and having a strong dislike for law enforcement.
And they don't like you because you locked up. They're gonna treat you like shit, my boy, in jail.
Currently resides in Huntsville, Utah, within a multi-million-dollar mansion he's named Gravedigger Mountain. With an ankle monitor, Youngboy needs approval to leave his home for any reason, to the point that it doesn't even matter if it's a doctor's appointment. All guests that enter Gravedigger Mountain also have to be approved by his federal probation before entering the property. The same suspects that would be caught up attempting to pick up fraudulent prescriptions were all on Youngboy's visiting list.
This man got nothing but kids, and he living that life. Come on, my boy, these kids gonna... I'm so sick of this cycle, man. It hurts to hear, but it ain't never gonna stop. It's just another thing.
A search warrant was executed on Gravedigger Mountain. Everyone within the mansion was detained, including Youngboy, and after being read his rights, he agreed to an interview. Youngboy was asked about the presence of firearms inside of the home. He said a gun belonging to his wife was inside.
My boy, you got a wife and everything? And what these girls thinking? Oh yeah, I like him because he's gangster. Then when he go into jail, what you gonna do? Go get with another one that's gangster. And the same cycle repeats. A lot of these women need to be put on friggin' game 2. Leave these niggas that are alone that in the streets. They don't care about you. They care about the streets.
Handled the gun, or if his DNA would be found on the gun. He denied that his DNA would be found, but stated 2 days earlier he had picked the gun up and moved it from an open area, placing it inside of a drawer. He'd claimed that was the only time he touched the gun, further stating his wife always has the gun within reach throughout the house. Youngboy was asked about prescription drugs in his house, and he'd state he has a prescription for promethazine. He provided the doctor's name who prescribed it and said he was local. When asked if he had any doctors in Texas, he'd say no, and continued to deny having been prescribed drugs from any other doctor. When asked about his associates picking up fraudulent prescriptions, he claimed to have no knowledge.
He ain't trying to tell you guys shit. That's pretty much it.
He confirmed his association with 3 of them, and when confronted about the call with the agent, he stated he didn't remember, making suggestions the agent likely spoke with his dad. But the agent would note Youngboy has a very distinct voice and that it was in fact him on the call, as the agent later spoke with Youngboy's dad and could tell it wasn't him. Youngboy was interviewed further but continued to be deceptive and deny knowledge of anything illegal. During the search, law enforcement found a prescription bottle inside Youngboy's bathroom within the master bedroom. The bottle was prescribed to Caroline White, one of the fraudulent names.
Come on, my boy, you know you doing stuff, then you know they come and search your home. Get rid of all that. Dumb. Just dumb. That's why I stopped listening to some of these rappers, because they ain't gonna be around for so long anyway. There's another one that about to come out and he won't be in jail not too long. They all talk about all the gun shit and then they go to jail. Who says she was another one?
1955, and another bottle of promethazine would be found with.
But then y'all want us to hold them down.
Handgun, Youngboy.
Hell no! Rot in jail, cause you made some stupid decisions. I ain't holding nobody down to make this. Listen, man, I don't even want to say this, but I know someone. Listen, y'all made your decisions. That's on you. You did the crime. Do the time. Simple.
Boy admitted to possessing would be found within the master bedroom closet with an empty magazine and 1 round loaded in the chamber. 3 more bottles of promethazine.
Wait. See, here's the thing. I talked to one of my boys that was Lenny. He said we would hide stuff in the ground. Like, these guys is putting it in their own home. Like, this is not gonna happen. You were street gangsters. What do you think the cops is looking for?
All electronics was seized. NBA
My boy, you done. You done.
Charged with possession of a weapon by a restricted person, pattern of unlawful activity, 20 counts.
Identity fraud is the worst thing you could ever have. They can put you in jail forever.
Procuring or attempting to procure a drug prescription, 20 counts of forgery, and possession of a controlled substance being marijuana or spice.
See, that's why I stopped listening to some of these rappers. You keep listening to these dumb rappers. Most of them gonna be in jail.
He has a drug problem and was using his team to obtain them. How serious are his actual charges? For possessing the weapon and the pattern of unlawful activity, he faces up to 15 years each. Both fraud and forgery carry up to 5 years in prison, while trying to get a prescription carries up to a year. Because he faces 62 charges, NBA Youngboy is facing, at maximum, a total of 250.
Oh yeah, he better see if he can beat them charges, because you ain't, my boy, you ain't coming out. 250 years? We don't live that long. Barely never seen. I know this one person I seen in other cities, they live to 202, but it's very often. My boy, you gonna be dead in prison. Like, I got a brother right now in prison. He probably gonna die in prison if he don't ever get out. But we ain't gonna talk about that.
It's highly unlikely he'd receive that sentence, as that's the max punishment on every count. What is likely to happen is the feds will indict Youngboy again for being a felon in possession of a firearm, the same way they did after his arrest.
He's probably gonna do 10 to 15 years.
If this happens, we can expect his pretrial release to be gone and Youngboy to be kept in a federal facility until both federal cases come to an end. The fact that he admitted he moved the gun is an admission of guilt, which his lawyer will have to fight to get that statement thrown out. On top of that, the gun was found loaded in his bedroom closet, meaning
My boy, if you beat these charges like NBA, like Boosie, you gotta stop this shit like Boosie. Stop. Boosie's trying to change his life. I got a lot of respect for Boosie, because Boosie went through all that foolishness.
Even though he said he did, he could still be charged with constructive possession for the simple fact that he had access to it. Obviously, being placed on house arrest for years is damaging to one's mental health, and a drug addiction can blur one's mind. But we'll just have to wait and see if Youngboy's legal team is able to find sympathy while prosecutors seek punishment and a judge weighs out justice.
Wait, they're trying to put it on again, my bad. So, listen, y'all. NBA Youngboy, what y'all think? He gonna do some time? I literally think he's gonna do some time. Like, I don't think they'll give you them that 250 years. Like, that's a little harsh, unless they really that racist down there. I don't know. America's a little different. So Canada, we don't get the full charge. Like, if we kill someone, you don't gotta do no 25 years. It's weird like that, but I think directly he's gonna do some time, regardless. Anyway, y'all jump in the comments what y'all think. NBA Youngboy, man, I just say, man, if you get out of that one like Boosie, man, you gotta straighten your life. Man, you got too many damn kids to be acting like that, bro. Get your shit together, man. Tired of these fools, man. Like, come on. We got people out here struggling. You guys out here making the black community look like this is what we act like. Y'all gotta do better, man. I'm so tired of this cycle, man. Like, damn. You already know, man. If it ain't Seereal, it ain't real. Stay grinding, stay shining, stay blessed, stay fresh. And you already know I'm Ghost.